Evan freaking Peters in a freaking Disney Channel show. I never thought in my life I'd see Evan Peters in a Disney Channel show. Why am I still mind blown by that? Look, when I saw him on the screen, my mind was blown. My mom's mind was blown. It was mind blowing. Okay, okay. Let's get into the review. Ready?
It's like reality. We will triumph with lots of love. Lots of love. Lots of love. Lots of love. Lots of love.
Hi everyone, it's me, Sukai Todd. This is my spectacular spoiler review of WandaVision episode 6. As always, these are my subjective opinions. Take what you want, leave the rest. And if you think WandaVision is quote unquote woke, feminist empowerment, blah blah blah, you have 3 seconds to leave. Bye, thanks for watching. Alright, so let's get into it for those of you who chose to stay and are wanting me to spoil WandaVision for you. Also, forgive my sniffling, still have a cold.
It's like reality.
So Wanda and Vision Maximoff are having a Halloween special Halloween with each other and their sons Billy and Tommy and their uncle, Wanda's brother Pietro, aka Quicksilver, who is actually Quicksilver in the X-Men series of films. I'll get into that later. But anyway, Wanda and Vision actually wear their comic accurate cosplays for this episode, which I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so cute. It's just so cute. I'm sorry, it's cute. I love it. And I love how they toned down the sexiness of Wanda's version of her comic accurate version of her cosplay. Not that I mind cosplayers who do it more provocatively. Like, I'm not here to slut shame anyone, as I've been slut shamed for wearing cosplays that aren't, prudish or whatever. So call me Felicia Hardy. Anyway, but yeah.
It's like reality.
So Billy is dressed up as Doctor Strange and comic accurate-ish version, and Tommy is the no, Billy is dressed as Doctor Strange. Tommy is the Quicksilver cosplayer, and they're both really cute. And you can see as Wanda and Vision have their little kiss moment in the episode that they recognize that their parents are having some issues. Like, their parents aren't getting along as well, so you can tell it's starting to affect Billy and Tommy. And Pietro, well, he's Pietro. But yeah, Quicksilver, as it were, he's there. Both Billy and Tommy kind of made it clear that Pietro is a man-child, which is not too far from the from the version of Quicksilver that was in X-Men, at least to my knowledge. Yeah, no. And I will have a segment on Pietro, because I can't not. But yeah, Billy and Tommy and Wanda and Vision, they're all kind of starting to, I don't want to say dissociate, but they're starting to kind of feel disenchanted from each other. See what I did there? Anyway, they're all starting to feel a bit disenchanted from each other. Billy and Tommy are having spats that most brothers do, but Wanda and Vision seem to be more and more disconnected from each other, which is very sad. Although it's once again made clear that they do still love each other, so it's good. It's good to see that, even with the problems in their marriage, it's still good to see that they are still loving each other.
It's my reality.
Speaking of Pietro, I had to take a deep breath for that one. Yeah, Pietro is very much a man-child in this. Quicksilver, who, yes, Quicksilver is related to Wanda. Quicksilver is Wanda's brother. He's a mutant and an X-Men. X-Men. He's a student of Charles Xavier. So, yeah, he's an X-Men, and he is Wanda's brother. He is Quicksilver in the X-Men series of films, so there's a connection there. There's a definite connection there. But Pietro, in this version, well, I do have some theories that I'll get into in the later episodes, or the latter half of the series. I, as much as I enjoyed Evan Peters' work in WandaVision, because, like, it's Evan Peters, have you not seen American Horror Story? Which, to be honest, I've seen it, meh. Peters did the best job of any of the girls in the, sorry, forgive the pun. But yeah, I liked his work in this series. And it was not a huge role, but he did a good job. So, but personally, I prefer to see him in a more horrific show. Although, the ending of this episode, which is something I'll get into, is actually quite fitting for Pietro's actor. And it's interesting that he was seemingly recast by Wanda, right? Right? Well, was he recast by Wanda? Did Wanda recast Pietro? Pietro? Sorry for the pronunciation.
It's my reality.
So, after we find out, not so shockingly, that Agent Hayward is the bad guy, great subversion of a trope, but Dr. Darcy, Captain Monica Rambeau, and Agent Wu are more or less fired from Sword's headquarters outside of Westview, and they decide to figure things out for themselves, more or less, being the good guys as expected, because they are all like, aside from Captain Rambeau, they're all like good guys on the side of good for the most part in their Avengers and other MCU related stuff. So that's cool to see. But after we find out in a not so shocking way that Agent Hayward is not the biggest stan of Wanda, Captain Rambeau and the rest of the good guys decide to kick some butt, take some names, and help save Westview. But is it from Wanda or is it from someone else?
It's my reality.
And I am so sorry if you heard a car zooming in the background. Again, I live in a noisy area. But back to my critiques. Okay, so my biggest critique for this episode was the opening theme. I mentioned this before, but like, my favorite opening was the first one. I'm sure I'm not alone in that perspective, but this opening theme, it did its job, but it was just kind of meh for me. But overall, I think the episode was pretty good. Agnes wasn't in it too much, so that's a plus. I guess it's a Disney, but anyway, I'll leave that pun alone. But yeah, Agnes didn't grind my gears too much because she wasn't too heavily involved in this episode, at least from what it appeared. Which, we'll get into that when we get into 7, 8, and 9, where everything starts to come together in a much broader sense. But yeah, my critiques are mainly that when we see Vision almost get killed, and we see again, and we that's really my big critique is when Pietro's all like, "It's not like your dead husband could die again." Like, bro, excuse you. First of all, when Wanda blasted his butt into the next two, like, what, where, how far did she blast him? Either way, when Wanda blasted her older brother or younger brother's butt, it was fun to watch. But what he said was totally unnecessary. No, it was necessary, but like as a fan of Wanda and Vision as a couple, it's like, how dare you? But yeah, Pietro's line, was that ad-libbed? Because I don't like that ad-lib. Evan Peters will never see this. I doubt he ever will, but if he ever does, did you ad-lib that disrespectful line?
It's my reality.
Okay, so my first watch versus my current watch. Okay, so the first watch was still really great to watch. Like, the Spooktacular episode was fun to watch with my mom. But the second time it was cool, but this time watching it in 2024, it feels much greater to watch because it's so in the mood of the like 90s to Y2K style of Disney Channel Halloween time shows. Like, back in my day, we used to have this thing called Oktoberfest, not the kind involving beer, where on Disney Channel they would have all these campy movies that are just classic now, like Halloween Town, the Halloween Town trilogy. I don't talk about Return to Halloween Town. Phantom of the Megaplex, just so many great movies. And seeing the style of this episode of WandaVision, especially when they're walking by the theater and you see the Parent Trap, which is likely the 90s version, and The Incredibles, which feels kind of out of place. I guess Wanda really liked that movie. Just gonna leave that one there. I enjoyed The Incredibles, but yeah, it's a very cool watch this time around.
It's my reality.
So for my final thoughts on WandaVision episode 6, it was really enjoyable. It was a bit more lighthearted at first than episode 5, but at that ending, when we see a close-up of Wanda's eyes turning red, we realize that she's not cosplaying a Sokovian fortune teller. For those who didn't already know, she was cosplaying the Scarlet Witch. Comic accurate version. In parentheticals, comic accurate version. But yeah, it was really cool. It was cool, but it was also gut-wrenching to see that ending, where Vision almost died again, and Wanda expanded the hex so quickly, and due to the grief that Pietro's ASS had caused her. But these are my views. What are your thoughts? Comment below, play nicely, and thank you for watching. Bye! Stay safe!
Don't worry about it. She said, I knew she was lying about it. Don't you trust me? Don't worry about it. She said, I knew she was lying about it. Don't you trust me? What's up with all these people divorcing? What's up with all these rumors of infidelity? Age gaps can be okay, or at least that's what they say. Don't worry about it. She said, I knew she was lying about it. Don't you trust me? Don't worry about